Welcome to Because. We have a great show planned for you today. We'll start out stopping by this Miss Septemberfest coronation at Chandler's. Next, we'll be with Stacy and Heather as they check out the lifeguard training at Bach. And we'll conclude today's episode with Beth as she stops by Olympic to check out the car show and our showing of the movie Cars. Stick around. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, my name is Rohan, and I take time for fun by playing dodgeball.
WSPD, your place to take time for fun.
Would you please join me in welcoming our 5 wonderful young ladies who are the finalists in the annual Miss Septemberfest competition.
As you guys know, I'm Cara Mohr, the Miss Septemberfest chairperson, and I'm joined today by Mallory Riggle, my co-chair. We'd like to start off on behalf of both of us and the entire Septemberfest committee. We'd like to give you a heartfelt thank you for such a wonderful luncheon to honor the 2016 Miss Septemberfest court. A special thank you also to Mr. Kelly and to Bruce for arranging such a nice event. It's always a pleasure to work with you, Bruce, and we look forward to it every year. The Village of Schaumburg, thank you. And as I think we all agree, the Village of Schaumburg truly appreciates this opportunity to recognize some of the fine young women in our community. So thank you again. Back on August 14th, we had the pleasure, Mallory, myself, thank you, our co-committee member, Darlene Smith, who's in charge of the parade, and then also Laura Jensen, who was Miss Septemberfest 2013 and also a court member in 2012. We conducted this year's Miss Septemberfest interviews. We were tasked with interviewing one of our biggest groups to date. We had 26 girls. So I know, we were shocked as well. We were thrilled with the positive response and seeing that so many young women wanted to be a part of Schaumburg's history. As always, the girls were judged on 4 criteria, including character, community involvement, poise, and knowledge of Schaumburg. The girls ranged between ages 16 and 19 and are all residents of Schaumburg. Each of them showed us how they are on their way to becoming leaders within their numerous activities, their schools, and their community. This year, we really enjoyed speaking to the girls not only about how they are giving back to their community, but what community means to them. The Septemberfest originally started as an opportunity for local residents to have a fun activity to do over the holiday weekend, which didn't involve having to travel too far. Little did we know that 46 years later, we would actually be welcoming people from other communities to our little fest. So I'd like to have each of them introduce themselves to you so you can hear a little bit more, and then we will name Miss Septemberfest 2016. Our first court member to introduce themselves to you is Miss Megan Schneidow.
Hello, this is super exciting for me. As you heard, I'm Megan Schneidow, and I am a 17-year-old senior at Schaumburg High School, as some of the other court members are. At the school, I participate in the Orchesis dance team, where I am the co-captain. I've also been teaching at the preschool in Schaumburg High School for 2 years, as well as interning for an English teacher, because I am hoping later in my life to become an English teacher and get my master's in English and education. I love doing volunteer work. I've worked at the Special Olympics. I am a frequent visitor at Feed My Starving Children. I'm hoping to bring my dance team there to work at Feed My Starving Children as a team activity. And I'd love to thank my parents for supporting me, making me the person I am today. I'd like to thank everyone in Schaumburg for making this such a great community for me to grow up in, because without this area, I wouldn't be the person I was.
Our next court member is Miss Nikita Lakshminarayanan.
Hi everyone. Before I begin, I just want to give a little disclaimer. I lost my voice earlier this week, so sorry if you can't understand me. If my voice cracks halfway in between, you're going to know why. So as she said, my name is Nikita Lakshminarayanan. I'm 16 years old, and I currently am a junior at Conant High School. I'm involved with a lot of clubs at Conant. Specifically, I like taking things with leadership roles such as Student Council, Principal Advisory Board, and I'm actually the co-founder and president of Conant SASA, which is South Asian Student Association. So I like to build a community for South Asians at Conant so we can build a community and really relate with one another. I like to volunteer my time a lot, specifically with hunger. Like Megan, I volunteer a lot of time at the Feed My Starving Children organization, but I also partner with the Schaumburg Food Pantry and the Chicago Food Depository, and I lead food drives outside of local supermarkets, and I ask people to pick up cans and donate it to those food pantries.
Next, we have Miss Shraddha Patel.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shraddha Patel, and I'm 19 years old. I'm a sophomore at Harper College. I graduated from Schaumburg High School in 2015, and at Schaumburg, I was the research chair and the vice president of the debate team for 4 years. In the 4 years that I was the research chair, I did research for 80 people every 2 weeks. And in that time, we went on to win 3 championships, and I was a state champion myself. It was a very good opportunity for me to meet not only the village of Schaumburg, but also interact with all the students who go to schools such as Conant and Hoffman. Moreover, I went on to volunteer in high school in Feed My Starving Children, and I also volunteered at Kenneth Young Center and did activities such as badminton, and I also participated as the poetry chair, or the performance chair in Poetry Club.
Next, we have Miss Brianna Zegler.
Hi everyone, I'm Brianna Zegler, and I'm 17 years old, and I'm currently a senior at Schaumburg High School. At Schaumburg High School, I participate in varsity volleyball. I've been part of the volleyball program for 4 years now. I'm part of National Honor Society. I'm in Business Professionals of America, and I'm part of Principal's Advisory Board also. Outside of Schaumburg High School, I volunteer at St. Marceline Church as a confirmation catechist. I was part of their confirmation program for 2 years, and then moved on to teach it for the next 2 years. I work at the Schaumburg Park District. I'm currently a key holder at Olympic Park and at the Sports Center. I also coach basketball and volleyball camps at the Sports Center, and I also umpire for SAA softball.
And lastly, we have Miss Danielle Tribus.
Hello everyone. Like Cara said, my name is Danielle Tribus. I am 17 years old and a senior at Schaumburg High School. So a little bit about me is that this will be my 4th year as a member and 1st year as a captain of the Schaumburg High School Varsity Pom Squad. So for the Pom Squad, we perform at football games, basketball games, promote school spirit, we compete, and volunteer. I have helped organize various volunteer activities for my squad to participate in, like Feed My Starving Children and breast cancer runs. This will also be my 3rd year as a leader for the Schaumburg High School Physical Education Department. So outside of school, I volunteer through my church, St. Marceline, as a member of the Appalachia Service Project.
So, if we're ready for our crowning, in Miss Septemberfest 2016 is Miss Danielle Tribus. Congratulations, Shraddha, and congratulations to Danielle.
I'm Heather Hagstrom.
And I'm Stacy Johnson.
And welcome to the BCUZ show. We're out and about at the pools, kind of giving you an inside look on what lifeguard training's like for the Schaumburg Park District.
We've got all the pools here. We've got Atcher, Bach, Meineke, and Vulcany Lake and Waterworks. And we've got them all together in one spot to train.
We require the lifeguards to go to 4.5 hours of training every single month to make sure they keep their skills in tip-top shape and to keep you safe this summer. So why don't we take a look at what's going on?
All right, so we're here at lifeguard training, and in this group, what are we working on in this group?
So we're doing active choking for actual person and a baby. So what we're trying to do is, just in case if someone's at the concession area is choking, we're ready, we know what we're doing. So the lifeguards are training for it.
All right, so we all know what to do if someone comes up to us and says, here, could you help my baby? My baby's choking, right? Mm-hmm. All right, let's get busy and practice this.
I'm a certified lifeguard. Can I help you? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so we're here at another station of the lifeguard training. So what are we doing at this station?
We're practicing rescuing unconscious victims and practicing CPR and AED procedures.
So why is this important in a pool environment?
Because there always might be an unconscious victim or any kind of rescues, so we always prepare. And CPR rotations are always important to practice and go through.
Okay, and what's your name?
My name is Sori.
Where do you work, Sori?
I work at the CRC. Yeah.
And how long have you worked there?
This is my first summer working.
All right, well, thanks for giving us a sneak peek. We'll let you get back to it. All right, so we're here at another lifeguard training station with one of our fantastic Schaumburg Park District lifeguards. What's your name?
My name is Jake Cathy.
Hey, Jake, where do you work?
I work at Waterworks over the summer.
And how long have you been a lifeguard?
I've been a lifeguard for about a year and 9 months now.
What's your favorite thing about being a lifeguard?
Well, I mean, it's definitely an interesting aspect. It's something good to know. It's skills-wise, everything like that. It looks very good for your future job opportunities, so stuff along those lines.
All right, and what are we practicing at the station right behind us?
We're practicing spinal drills.
And what constitutes a spinal injury?
Would be like a head or neck injury.
Is there anything patrons can do to make sure they avoid these kind of injuries at our pools?
Well, I would suggest not diving into the pool, or in case of going down the slide and stuff like that, I would recommend going feet first and everything like that. Always listen to the lifeguards and what they're telling you. If you're doing something wrong, always correct what you're doing and all of your behaviors and stuff like that.
Our main goal is always to keep everybody safe, so thanks so much for giving us a look into what you're training on.
All right, so we're here with one of the groups, and we do things that aren't in the water all the time. So right here at this spot, we're playing Lifeguard Jeopardy. Let's take a look and see how it goes.
Okay, guys, what do you want to pick next? First aid, 200. Alrighty. What do you give a patron who has to get diabetic emergency?
Sugar, soda, or candy.
Juice. Sugar. You're right. Good job, guys. What else should we pick? Know your supervisor for 300.
Good choice.
Whose ancestors came from France?
Stacy!
Oh, sweet.
Thanks for coming out and seeing us tonight and seeing what trainings we do to keep you safe at your fun summer outings.
We hope you've got a chance to come out and visit one of our great Schaumburg Park District pools. We love having you all, and as you can see from our training, our only goal is to keep you safe and make sure you have a fun summer.
So let's take time for some fun and come on out to the pools.
Well, we're here today at our first annual car show, and I found a gentleman that's very interested in cars. Let's find out his name.
My name's Mohr.
And tell me what brought you out today.
No, it's a nice evening. I knew the car show was here, so we thought we'd walk around with my sons and just check out some cars.
Great. So do you have interest in the classic cars, or?
Aesthetically, yes. Financially, no.
Well, then we're in the same boat there. So, I mean, you could tell me because nobody else is going to know except, maybe everybody that's watching.
Sure.
Who'd you vote for today?
The red, right over there, the red Chevelle.
And what made you vote for that one?
I like the stance of it. It's has a mean-looking stance.
All right, you heard it. Mean-looking stance. Well, it's really exciting when you hear about a car that has original paint, everything original. I'm here with the owner, Tony, and he's going to tell us a little bit about this beautiful car.
I've had it for 35 years. My neighbor in Ohio had it originally, and when he asked me if I wanted to buy it, he needed room in the garage for his family van. I said, sure, I'll take it, and I put my van out in the driveway, took this in. So we traded spots.
I love it. Just get that van out there and put this beautiful car. So tell me a little bit about the car.
Well, it's a 396 SS, original paint. Had nothing ever to do but the maintenance, belts, hoses, tires, things like that. And the original paint is really what catches your eye, plus all the paperwork. I found the original build sheet, which just reinforces the fact that it's an original car with the numbers. I found that accidentally under the front seat a couple of years ago as I was cleaning the car. So then he sent me the original sales slip, so all the paperwork I can possibly have, plus the original car.
So tell me a little bit about this beautiful car.
Well, it's a 1960 Studebaker convertible, and it's got a 259 V8 in there, dual exhaust, 3 on a tree. And we've had it for about 5 years now.
Well, it's beautiful. And I'm sorry I forgot to ask your name. I'm so excited about your car.
Ray.
And who do you have with you here today?
My wife, Mary.
Mary, sometimes when the car's here, we kind of forget about the wife.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
I saw you pulling, and it was such a beautiful car. So you said you've had it for about 5 years?
5 years. I had her for 49, so.
Well, see, he didn't forget you. Well, thank you for coming out this first year. We really appreciate you being here. I'm here with another one of the owners, and your name, sir?
Rob.
Rob, this is a beautiful car. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
It's a 1968 Rally Sport Camaro. I bought it when I was 19, which is quite some time ago now, and I actually bought the car in Virginia when I was in the Navy. Drove it for a little while. It was not very reliable, so it ended up back home here in Elmhurst, where my grandma was, and it stayed there for a few years. And a friend and I spent 4 years restoring it. And long story short, that was we finished in '98, so it's been some time since it's been finished.
I was going to say that was a couple years ago when you said 19, but this is a beautiful car. Can you walk with me? We can look at the interior because you have got to see inside this beautiful car.
Yeah, it's a white interior, which was not really common for Camaros back then. It was white is the original color that the interior came in for this car. The blue is not an original color. The original color was actually a kind of a light silvery green, And when I did the restoration, I was kind of too young to really want silvery green, so I went with the blue.
So on this beautiful day, what brought you out to the car show?
Just to support the village.
That's wonderful. And your name is?
Paul.
Paul, this is a gorgeous car. Tell me a little bit about it.
It's a 1962 Chevy Impala. It's a 327 engine, 4-speed transmission. I bought the car about 4 years ago and have been working on it regularly every winter ever since. I've done a few upgrades to it mechanically. I've increased the engine horsepower from a 250, which I originally got it with, to a 300 horse. I put new springs, new tires, new wheels on the car. Pretty much it's the same as when I got it.
So your name, sir?
My name is Ron Reef.
So Ron, tell me something fun about your car.
I messed around with the car myself since 1985. Done all the work myself, so it's fun to drive, fun to take up to the track.
So are you another one of these guys that loves to go out and drive a little dangerously?
No, not on the street. Save it for the track.
Okay, so safe on the street, but on the track. Tell me a little bit about racing.
Well, pretty much I've been known to drive it up there and run the laps and drive it back home, but I like to put it on a trailer so it doesn't break down and be able to get it back home. Go up to the Grove all the time. This fall I'm going to race my son with his Camaro.
Oh my gosh, that'll be wonderful. So is that the first time?
Yes. Yeah, he's got a 2014 Camaro SS, and he thinks he can beat me.
I was just going to say, you know he's going to try to beat you.
I'm going to throw down the gauntlet. I'm going to give it everything it's got, so we'll see what happens.
So when we're out at the car show, we brought all sorts of fun activities for kids to do so they can have a great time as well. But I think this young lady also is a part of the car show because your dad had a car out here today, didn't he?
Yes.
So is it fun to get to come out and have some activities to do too?
Yeah.
What did you like the most today?
The face paint and the bubbles.
Great. I kind of thought you might like the face painting. Can you show the camera that you have a pretty butterfly? Great. Now, how did you get started with the cars?
It's actually something my dad got me into when I was an early teen. I was interested in RC cars and was saving my money to buy an RC car and like $500 or $600, and they kind of persuaded me, why don't you save your money and put it towards a regular car, and you can build with your dad in the garage, and by the time you're able to drive, you'll have a car for high school. And that's what we did. I actually have a second one of these that I built about 28 years ago. I still have it.
That is really amazing. So, and what a fun project with your dad. And then, yeah, you got a car. So, any races coming up?
No, not at the moment. I'd like to try to get it out to the track at least one more time this season just to see what it'll do after I do some other modifications to the car. So, hopefully we'll get up there soon.
So, I'm here with a very handsome gentleman. Look at his beautiful hat and his beautiful car. And you are, sir?
Bob Garvin.
So, Bob, tell us about your car.
Well, it's a 49 Buick sedanette. It's a Buick Special. And actually, it's kind of a rare car because in 49, if you bought a Buick, you didn't buy a cheap one. And this is the cheapest one you could buy. So they only sold about 5,000 of them, I think.
Oh, I think that is kind of telling us something there. Now, tell us about the color.
Well, it's blue. It's really blue. And towards sunset, it actually turns a little purple. So, yeah, when I first got it about 8 years ago, it was all banged up, so I had to have it painted. And the painter said it was like a mid-'80s General Motors blue, but he added some red to it, and boy, it really did a nice job on it.
Oh, I love it. And we're going to scoot back here slowly so we can get to the interior. I'm loving what's going on in here. Tell me about this.
Well, I'm cheap, so I think I spent $26 on some blankets for the interior. There's nothing wrong with the interior other than it's kind of bland. It's gray. So I just thought I'd spice it up a little bit. I actually got it from Miami, brought it up from Miami. And so consequently it's kind of a lowrider, probably the Cuban influence, I guess, or something.
And your name is?
Brandon.
Brandon, so let's keep it between us two. Who are you going to vote for?
Number 10, right behind us.
Oh, this car, it just happens to be behind us. Tell me how you chose this one.
Well, I really like the long hood at the front, and...
Well, here, let me scoot over so they can see this long hood. Okay, so keep talking.
I also like how it's more in the original classics, some of the first cars that were made in the 1920s or 30s. And
So that's awesome. You like that it was more original? You like the long hood? Wonderful. But our winner is Ray Dilla, our Studebaker right in front of us here. Congratulations. We hope you all had a wonderful time. If you came out, and if you didn't, they all should do what? Next year they should come out to the Classic Car Show.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget, take time for fun.